Hi, folks. I'm Johnny Gilbert. Let's just take care of a little business, then we'll get to our game. Normal game? Okay. So how many people out there? One player. From the Sony Pictures Studios, this is Jeopardy!
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy! We've got a great game lined up for you. Let's see if you like these first-round categories.
Poets and poetry. Gimme an F. Television. Frank Sinatra. Who was that masked man? And let's take a look at our last category. College memories.
Player one, your turn.
The only human this talking TV horse would talk to was Wilbur.
Player one. That's right.
Men Are Pigs, Tim Allen's Showtime special about men's love for hardware, inspired this comedy series.
Player one.
Exactly.
In 1985, MTV launched this sister channel to play adult contemporary soft rock videos for an older generation.
Player one. Yes.
Laverne and Shirley was the top show of 1977-78. This series, from which it was spun off, was number 2.
Player one.
That's right.
He played U.S. Marine Gomer Pyle.
Player 1.
Good answer, but sorry, that's wrong. Is that it? Anyone?
Of magna cum laude, summa cum laude, or cum laude, it's the one that's the highest honor.
Player 1. Definitely.
Perhaps referring to the fleecing of your parents' bank account, it's the animal nickname for your diploma. You pull one of these by staying awake until dawn over a project or paper.
Player 1.
Well done, yes.
From the Latin for larger, it's your academic specialty.
Player 1. You're correct.
It's the one-word name for the exams you take at the end of school terms.
Player 1. Exactly.
Answer, the Daily Double.
Player 1, please make your wager.
This weather phenomenon comes on little cat feet.
Player 1.
You're correct.
Broken, like some bones, or cartoon fairy tales.
Player 3.
That's right. Player 3, it's your turn.
How about poets and poetry? For 100, please.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of this.
Player 1. Oh, regrettably, no. Player 3? Right you are.
Poets and poetry. For 200, Alex.
Robert Frost rhymed, "Nature's first green is this color, her hardest hue to hold."
Player 1? Definitely. Player one, what'll it be?
This Scottish poet told the Afton River to flow gently among thy green braes.
Player one? You got it.
This Don Juan poet adopted a third given name, Noel, to receive an inheritance from his mother-in-law.
Player two? That's it. It's your turn, player two.
Who was that masked man? For 100.
In 1988, Michael Crawford picked up a Tony for playing the masked title role in this musical.
Player one.
Yes, indeed. Your choice, player one.
The title of this category comes from an oft-said phrase on this classic radio and TV show.
Player one? You got it.
In films, he's donned the Riddler's mask and the title mask in The Mask.
Player one.
That's it.
In a 1998 film, Catherine Zeta-Jones fell for and dueled with this masked man.
Player one? You got it.
A newswire reported this singer and king of pop disguised as an Arab woman shopping in a Munich toy store.
Player one.
You're correct.
This 1712 poem was based on the true story of a lord cutting a curl from Arabella Fermor's hair.
Player three? Definitely. If you would, player three?
Frank Sinatra. For 100.
Well-known Sinatra nicknames include Old Blue Eyes and chairman of this.
Player two.
That's it. Your choice, player two.
Frank Sinatra. For 200, please, Alex.
A fireman's son, Francis was born in Hoboken in this state on December 12, 1915.
Player one.
Yes, indeed. Player one?
It's a digital painting technique.
Player 2.
Right you are. Player 2, you choose.
Frank Sinatra for 300, Alex.
Frank was paid $8,000 to play Maggio in this 1953 Eternity film.
Player 2. Well done, yes.
How about Frank Sinatra for 400, please?
Frank serenaded this young daughter in the song The Girl with the Laughing Face.
Player 3.
Right you are. Okay, player 3.
Give me an F. For 100, please.
A small bit of snow, soap, or cereal.
Player 1.
Yes, indeed. Player 1, your turn.
Eliza Doolittle, or a precious little petal scatterer.
Player 1.
Exactly.
And to wrap up this board,
It was Francis A. Sinatra's middle name.
Player 3.
Yes, indeed. That's the end of the Jeopardy round. Let's take a look at the scores.
You're on a roll, Player 1. You're still in the thick of it, Player 3. Player 2, you're in last place, but you do get to start things off first in Double Jeopardy.
Let's move on to Double Jeopardy. There are 2 daily doubles awaiting you on this board. Let's get started. Let's see if you like these categories in the Double Jeopardy round.
Double talk. To serve. That's revolting. Pilgrims. What's the currency? And seeing red at the movies.
It's your turn, Player 2.
How about what's the currency for 200, Alex?
In London, this is worth 100 pence.
Player 1.
Definitely. Your choice, Player 1.
In Berlin, this is equal to 100 pfennigs.
Player 1. Yes, indeed.
In Tokyo, this equals 100 sen.
Player 1.
Right you are.
In Moscow, 100 kopecks make up this.
Player 1.
That's it.
In Italy, this is equal to 100 centesimi.
Player 1.
Definitely.
This Washington city, whose name means many waters, was known as Steptoville until 1859.
Nobody?
In the 1920s, Donald Duncan introduced this child's toy to America, and it's had its ups and downs ever since.
Player 1.
Well done, yes.
On TV, it was Orkin for hello.
Anyone?
This Mama's and Papa's hit was all I hoped it would be.
Player 1.
Definitely.
Answer? The Daily Double.
Player 1, please make your wager.
During World War II, this English lord broadcast propaganda for the Germans, and it wasn't funny.
Player 1.
Exactly.
In 1831, he led a famous slave revolt in Virginia.
Player 1. Yes, indeed.
In 1794, nearly 13,000 soldiers were called out to put down this rebellion in Pennsylvania.
Player 3.
That's right. If you would, Player 3.
Pilgrims. For 200, please.
Thousands of pilgrims gather annually in Cairo and Damascus to join caravans to make the Hajj to this holy city.
Player 1.
You're correct. Player 1.
This religion has 7 holy cities of pilgrimage, including Varanasi and Ayodhya.
Player 1. Well done, yes.
In 1623, he married fellow pilgrim Priscilla Mullins.
Player 2? That's it. Player 2, you choose.
To serve. For 200, please.
You can serve your leftovers directly from this brand of tight-sealing food containers introduced in 1945.
Player 1? Exactly. Player 1, what'll it be?
According to their Buffalo, New York inventors, buffalo wings should be served with celery and this salad dressing.
Player 1.
Yes, indeed.
According to Guinness, this sport's fastest serve was 142 miles per hour in 1997.
Player 1.
That's right.
He served in the Dodger organization for 47 years, retired, and returned as general manager in 1998.
Player 3.
You got it. Okay, player 3.
Seeing red at the movies. For 200?
This 1949 movie about a boy and his horse featured a script by Steinbeck based on his own novel.
Player 2? That's it. Player 2?
I'll try Seeing Red at the Movies. For 400.
Small-town teens fight off a commie invasion of the U.S. in this 1984 flick.
Player 1? Right you are. Player 1, your turn.
Moira Shearer made her movie debut in this film about a ballerina caught between two men.
Player 3? That's it. Player 3, what will it be?
How about That's Revolting? For 200, please.
In 1846, settlers in what is now this western state staged the Bear Flag Revolt.
Player 1? Exactly. Player 1?
This gladiator's slave revolt was crushed in 71 B.C. when he died in battle against Marcus Licinius Crassus.
Player 3.
You got it. If you would, player 3?
That's Revolting. For 600.
Answer? The Daily Double.
Player 3, could we have your wager, please?
During World War I, this British adventurer led the Arabs in a revolt against Turkish rule.
Player 3? Ooh, no, sorry.
How about Seeing Red at the Movies? For 800, please.
An innocent Tom Hanks is targeted by the CIA in this comedy.
Player 2.
Yes, indeed. Your choice, player 2.
Seeing Red at the Movies. For 1,000.
Brigitte Nielsen was the title character in this 1985 sword and sorcery saga.
Player 1.
You got it. Player 1, what'll it be?
Each year, many Buddhist pilgrims visit the site at Bodh Gaya, where this once grew. About 3 million pilgrims a year visit this city on the Gave de Pau stream near the Pyrenees in France.
Player 2.
Definitely.
And now to finish off the round.
The To Serve Man episode of this Rod Serling TV series involved aliens with a taste for humans.
Player 3.
That's right. That's the end of the Double Jeopardy round. Let's check out the scores.
Player 1, you've got the lead going into Final Jeopardy. Player 2, you're not too far off the lead. You're trailing Player 3, but there's plenty of game left.
All right, now it's time for Final Jeopardy. I'll show you the category and give you a few seconds to think about your wager.
This is our Final Jeopardy category. Birds.
Player 3, could we have your wager, please? Player 2, your wager, please. Player 1, please make your wager.
Player 3.
Player 2?
It can attain a speed of about 40 miles per hour, but has only 2 toes on each of its 2 feet.
Player 1? Well, how did everyone manage with that clue?
Player 3, your question. That's right. And your wager was? Player 2, your question. Sorry, that's incorrect. How much did it cost you? Player 1, your question. That's right. And your wager was?
Our big winner, Player 1. Thank you so much for playing Jeopardy! Bye for now.
Hi, folks. I'm Johnny Gilbert. Let's just take care of a little business, then
Well, what we do is we try to go on the road a lot because we don't want people to have to come to LA just to take the test, because roughly only about 10 to 15% of the people in a room of approximately 75 pass the test. So we try to get to all different areas so that people can come and try out a lot closer than, you know, coming to LA. Two things. I love the travel. I love being able to travel. And I think meeting so many people from different walks of life. I mean, they come in here when they're taping the show, and we have people from all different occupations, locales, and you learn a lot about them. You know, it's real interesting to hear them. They ask you all the kind of questions. What happens if I sneeze on the air? What happens if I can't get in on the buzzer? I would make a wonderful contestant as far as understanding how to play the game, when to ring in, answering in the form of a question, but giving the right answers, I don't know if I would be nearly as good. That's where I would fall down.
I mean, I started on this show so long ago. I was young when I started on this show, and that was 1984, the first year I was the booth AD and I edited the first season. And then I went back to Merv Griffin's show, who created it, for a year. And then 1986 came back here permanent. And 1991, I think, I started directing. When you go on the road and you see 4,500 people going crazy for Alex or crazy for a certain contestant, you feel proud of what you're doing.
I met some of the celebrities, including Clint Eastwood and Merv, and from meeting these people, I ended up expressing an interest that I wanted to come to Hollywood and work. There are certain responsibilities that the stage manager does by making sure all those elements are in place, looking at that schedule, and when it comes time to tape a show, make sure that everybody is in its place. And I get on my headset and I can tell the director, I say, hey, we're ready, let's go. Now, the lockout device can be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy. If it's your best friend, you see that there are people who operate that button with such ease, and they manage to get in all the time. The more relaxed a person is on stage, the better they seem to do out there.
Well, my career in show business started a long time ago when I was about 17. Started out as a singer, professional singer, and traveled for years with that. Then I did a stint in the Army in Special Services, and that was also in show business. And then I went to New York in 1960 and been doing television ever since. And I worked as a professional singer for several years. And that helped me an awful lot, by the way, in television, because I studied with a classical singing teacher, and that helped me with the breathing and how to use the voice and so forth. I did The Price is Right with Bill Cullen, one with Burt Parks called Yours for a Song, and then I worked with Dick Clark on the $25,000 Pyramid for a long time, John Davidson on the $100,000 Pyramid, did the Dinah Shore program for 8 years with the wonderful Dinah Shore, and of course Circus of the Stars and People's Choice Awards. And I've been doing a show for the last several years that the kids really love called Supermarket Sweep, along with Jeopardy. I think the main thing that is they're updated now by all types of computer systems and so forth. The original Jeopardy, for instance, they had people standing behind the board raising cards to reveal the responses. And now we have about 9 different computer systems that run the show. Probably the most fun really is when Alex and I are out in front of the audience sometime, carrying on a lot of kibitzing and that type of thing. Working with the live audiences is fun. For kids 10, 12 years old, our teen tournaments are wonderful, the college tournaments are exciting, all the way up through the seniors. So everybody can watch the show and be involved in it. Now, Jeopardy, you know, is different from other shows. On The Price is Right, if somebody wins a refrigerator, they get hysterical, crying, jumping up and down, and grabbing the host. On this show, you can win $50,000 and you shake Alex's hand. I was so delighted, and when we found out we were going on the road, we have our second set now so we can travel with it. And there we're dealing with 3,000 to 4,000 people in the audience for every show. And it's such a thrill because they're so anxious to see how we do Jeopardy. Most of them will never ever have a chance to come into the studio.